Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for episode 34. And the very first thing we're going to do in this episode will be to expand this room next to the oil pool a little bit. And voila! We have expanded. Ooh. Whoops. I did not want to do that. Let's clean this up. It's got some sand we can get rid of as well. So, what I want to do now is I want to expand our pressure setup a bit. So I've disassembled the pressure chamber that was in the main workshop before, and I should get some stone bricks to fill out the floor holes with. I should have some more around here somewhere. I don't. It's upstairs in the train, I think. Yep, there we go. So, the railway is complete up until the first landmass. Still only about halfway or less. Probably less. Although I'm not sure because I don't know what the distance is to the village. So we're going to check that out later, but right now we're going to do this. So I have the parts of the pressure chamber here, the valve, more walls, and there should be two interfaces. So let's put it here-ish. This will be fine. And we're going to put the valve here. And then we're going to put one interface here and the other here. And then I also want to get a window this time. And I should have some windows made already. So I'm going to put the window here, then fill in the corners and the top. And there we go. Then we put our input hopper. Then this will go here once I have emptied it of stuff. But now we have a window so we can see what's going on inside our pressure chamber, which is excellent. Let's change the filter to the text one and type compressed, because we're most likely going to use it to make compressed iron. Here's my plastic. I've also used the refinery a bit to refine some of the oil. I also have a thermo-pneumatic processing plant, which I've been using to make plastic. I'm going to need a couple of more of these. So I am going to want some more pressurized iron. So what I've done is I've made a liquid compressor, and I think we're going to push out this wall a bit more, and I hope it doesn't punch a hole outside anywhere, but there should be plenty of space left. Perfect. Here. Then we're going to cap them. You could punch these to set them off as well, but I like having a synchronized detonation because it looks cool. There we go. Didn't have time to see it this time, but oh well. Let's clean up the mess. Got some ore. And lots of cobblestone. I've been using a lot of cobblestone to make the bridge. I counted, and each pillar was about 32 blocks high, which was the distance from the surface to the bottom of the ocean, where there were deep ocean. So it took a lot of cobblestone. Each pillar used 2 stacks approximately, which is quite a bit. Put it like that. These are the pressure outputs. So this takes in liquid fuels, obviously, and we're going to connect it up to the chamber like that. So if we look in this tab here, we can see all the fuels it can use. So all of these, the top 4 ones are from Railcraft. We have ethanol from and biomass from forestry. Actually, biomass, is that can't be this stuff from forestry, is it? Huh, it is. That probably shouldn't have the same fuel value. We have oil and lava, some Industrial Craft 2 stuff, so we have hot coolant, this stuff, superheated steam, liquid plastic. Not sure why you would power this with liquid plastic, but steam is an option. However, we're going to want this pressure gauge I've made, Actually, I'm going to want this on the other side, I think. So the pressure gauge outputs redstone based on the pressure in the tube it's attached to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a line of redstone. Actually, it's tiny. Let's put it here, coming off, and then make it long enough so when the tube is at the correct pressure or below, the redstone will not reach this compressor. And this is going to be set to require a high signal or low signal to run. So currently it is enabled, and it will build up the pressure in this tube, and the signal strength of the redstone will increase as this happens. And when the pressure gets high enough, the signal will be strong enough to reach the liquid compressor, which will turn it off. And this will prevent the pressure from continuously building until something explodes. So this way we can regulate how much pressure is being built automatically. Previously, as you probably saw, I had solid compressors, and I would input fuel as needed into them. However, if I had thrown in a stack of something, some fuel, and left it, the pressure would continuously build until something exploded. So if I do this, now this might waste a little bit of fuel, which will be unfortunate. So here we have some diesel, and diesel is a product of refining oil. So we place this down and grab a bucket. Let me input this here. This will now be running, and it will be building up pressure. And I don't remember the formula. Maybe if we do this. Yeah, okay. So the strength is 2 times the pressure in bar. And the maximum we can this equipment can withstand is 5. So the highest pressure we want is 5. So we want at most a length of 10, because when the pressure reaches 5, the signal strength will be 10. So at that point we want it to reach here and shut this off. So we have 1, 2. There you can see the pressure is now half a bar, so we have 1 signal strength. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's actually perfect, because we want some margin of error. So a length of 8 would be a pressure of 4, and 9 will be 4.5. So when the needle reaches here, this liquid compressor will shut down. So we're going to have a buildup of pressure, and then when it drops lower again, it's going to start up again and replenish the pressure and then shut off. So I want to empty this tank. So I'm going to put a liquid hopper and have it drain this. Not sure. Doesn't want to drain the last bit if it's under. I've had both 50 and now 60 millibuckets be left in the tank, which it doesn't want to drain. I'm guessing it has to be 100 millibuckets for it to be able to do that, which is unfortunate. Oh, it's actually empty. Oh well. That's weird. So it doesn't update quite properly. Or that last tick when it's emptied, it doesn't actually update. Well, that's a bug. Oh well. So, now I wanted to set up the refinery again. So the refinery can go anywhere, really. It doesn't need pressure. However, the thermopneumatic processing plant does. So I have a tube here. Going to have one coming off like that. I'm not going to connect it quite yet because an open-ended end like this will let pressure out, and I don't want that. So if I put a plant here, I then have, I can put lava blocks next to it here on the back and underneath, and this block will also be shared if I put one here. So I'm going to make a few more of these. So we're going to get some iron. Let's actually check the recipe in any when I need it. I think each costs 5 iron, if I remember correctly. Let's check. Where is it? There it is. Yep. Each costs 5 iron, 1 tube, and 1 redstone, 2 glass. So I want. Let's make 2 more. And let's hope I have enough iron. I do. Good. And there. And there. And that's 10 iron. Then we're going to put that in the pressure chamber, which should have enough pressure to operate by now. We have almost 3 bars here, which you can also see here. I do believe I need this pipe. Even if it has nowhere to go, the interface should output automatically into Railcraft pipes, which is handy. So let's input stuff like that. And voila! We have tubes. We just need 4 blocks of glass. And I did put some sand in here. I've also made a steam oven and a boiler. I found that I had a lot of creosote oil and I wasn't using it quickly enough to actually and I didn't want to keep storing it in bigger and bigger tanks, so I ended up making a liquid boiler to get rid of it, basically. And I connected it up to my Hobbyist's engine, which is also receiving water, but that was mostly an accident. So instead of this burning fuel itself, it's now receiving steam from the boiler. Now I could also have a steam pipe going through here and connect it over to the liquid compressor over here and run it on steam. However, I don't want to draw that pipe quite yet. So if we put these here now, then we're going to have... oh. Right. The tubes have to connect to the sides. But that's fine, I can do that. So we do that instead, and that we actually save a few tubes. Just 3, but still. And then we'll connect these up like that. And the pressure will equalize in these new empty blocks. And then we're going to... there you are. We're going to put down a charging station here. And input this. Now, unfortunately, we'll only be able to charge this up to 4.5 bar, because that's the maximum pressure that will build up in the system as we have it set up. All the chargeable objects in Pneumaticraft can go up to 10 bar, but to actually charge them, so this pneumatic wrench, when inside the slot here, acts as all of these blocks do. So pressure isn't pumped into here. This is equalized with all of these blocks. So currently this is 2.4 bar, and that happens to be the same pressure that's in here. Now we have 2.5, and the same pressure that is in here, and so on. So to get 10 bar into this pneumatic wrench, our system has to go up to 10 bar as well. And the same goes for these air canisters and anything else we could imagine or put in here. Not sure where to put the plastic mixer, nor the refinery right now. So I'll want to make some reservoirs back here and put lava blocks there. So if I were to do something like this, now I need multiple lava blocks per plant to heat it up properly, because certain recipes require quite a bit of heat. So we have about 300 degrees. That's pretty decent, I would say. So I'm going to do the same with these. And yes. This is still going. Yep, still using fuel. In between this episode and the next, I will figure out where to put the refinery. I might also use my 2 remaining diamonds to make 2 more of these blocks to expand it fully, to be as efficient as possible with the oil. And then I'm probably going to place it down. Now, let's actually bring the peat as well as spare fuel, because we should be fine, but we might not be. I also want to bring some additional tracks. I should also really get rid of some of this junk. I got some cobblestone here. Don't need those. Let me come back in a bit. I'm going to clean up my inventory. And the locomotive should have heated up. Hopefully it hasn't burnt too much fuel. No, fine. So let's get going. So I realized I could have designed this bridge a bit better. There is a pillar every 9 blocks, so there are 8 blocks hanging between each pillar. And if I had been smarter at the time, I would have designed it so I could have a longer distance between each pillar with the same materials. And there are ways to do this. So the next bridge, because I'm going to have to continue building to reach the village. Almost there. After crossing this landmass, there will be more ocean. So I will have to keep building. And here we are. I'm still wearing my diving golden helmet, I just realized. And it's a little laggy now, presumably because the train is loading in. Let's grab a switch track. So yeah, this landmass goes sort of in that direction for a bit, and then on the other side there is more ocean. So I'm going to prepare for a track being laid across here, and I'm probably going to fence it in or wall it in with something to keep the tracks clear. Might even have to do some tunneling. Not quite sure yet. And then on the other side, the bridge will continue. However, I'm going to use a different design this time. Because as I've mentioned, this design is not the most efficient because these pillars were a pain to build. This might not have been enough. No, it works. Alright. So in the beginning I was diving to the bottom of the water, and I was building the pillars from the bottom up. And this worked fine when the ocean was this shallow, like it is here. Then, however, when we get to the deep ocean, now thanks to this helmet I could still do it, but I had to go up and get air between now and then, otherwise I would drown. There's a wasteland over there with stone pillars. They may look like oil wells like that, but they're not. However, later I realized I could build a overhang out of scaffolds out from the previous pillar, and then put cobblestone blocks on that so they would fall down and stack up. And that worked a lot better. It required a lot less diving. So that's how I built the last bit. However, I might have to... This was barely on the edge of the ocean there. However, I may have to revise and come up with new building methods if I design the pillars, or the next bridge, to have the pillars further apart. But we'll have to see. Not sure yet how I'm going to do that. So now I'm going to park the train under the... Nope. Need to wait for the switch to disengage. Going to park you here under the fluid loader. And then we're going to shut you down. It turns out I did need the charcoal. Oh well. I'm gonna grab you. So, we've gone almost 9 minutes over time. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you in the next episode.